With the recent passing of Chuck Norris, it has been decided that this video will be about telling you a bunch of real Chuck Norris facts. Chuck Norris had many accomplishments throughout his lifetime, but only a handful amount can be said, because if I said all of them, this video would never be finished. Let's start at the beginning of his life. Chuck Norris built the hospital he was born at, and also drove his mom to said hospital to give birth. Chuck Norris was once bit by a king cobra, and after a while of excruciating, agonizing pain, the cobra died. Chuck Norris once made lemonade from an orange he picked from an apple tree. When Chuck Norris does push-ups, he's pushing the earth down. When the boogeyman goes to sleep every night, he checks his closet and looks under his bed for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris makes onions cry. Chuck Norris counted to infinity twice. Chuck Norris defeated White Goodman. Chuck Norris once defeated Professor Toru Tanaka in combat. Chuck Norris can speak Braille and hear sign language. Chuck Norris once beat the sun in a staring contest. Chuck Norris doesn't wear sunglasses. The sun wears Chuck Norris glasses. Chuck Norris once killed 2 stones with 1 bird. When Chuck Norris walks into a room, he does not turn on the light, he turns off the dark. Chuck Norris once played Russian roulette with a fully loaded gun and won. Ghosts tell Chuck Norris stories around a campfire. Chuck Norris always carries 4 weapons of mass destruction: his arms and legs. Chuck Norris can see John Cena. Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience. Jesus walked on water. Chuck Norris can swim through land. Chuck Norris trained his own dog to pick up his own poop because Chuck Norris does not take shit from anyone. Chuck Norris can build a snowman in summertime. Chuck Norris can kill your imaginary friends. Chuck Norris can drown a fish. Chuck Norris knows Victoria's Secret. Chuck Norris can unscramble an egg. Mistakes learned from Chuck Norris. Bigfoot claims he saw Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris's tears could cure cancer. Too bad he never cried. Chuck Norris doesn't wear a watch. He decides what time it is. Chuck Norris knows where Genghis Khan is buried. When Chuck Norris went to the Virgin Islands, they simply became the Islands. Chuck Norris will carry his own casket at his funeral. In the end of it, Chuck Norris didn't die. He just took up the mantle of the Grim Reaper. He left this planet because for Chuck Norris, there's no beginning. There's no end. We've all known it. Chuck Norris has always lived on a different dimensional plane of existence. One last fact, his personal favorite. They tried to put Chuck Norris's face on Mount Rushmore, but the granite wasn't tough enough for his beard. That's the end of the video. Time for the shitty subscribe song.
Subscribe. Flirtin' doo 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 doo.